Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel and let it decide which horror movie they are going to discuss. Today's episode, we are talking about the 1988 film Child's Play, which was directed by Tom Holland. Not the Spider-Man Tom Holland, the other Tom Holland. What did you think of this one, Eric?
Yeah, I'll never get those 88 minutes back, but I'm kidding. I've seen this movie a few times, and I'm just like, I watched it late last night and was like, oh man, this movie, you know.
Really? Dude,
Yeah,
I had a very different experience. I actually watched it and liked it more this time, I think, than I've ever liked it before.
it's funny. I mean, it's so silly for a horror movie slash slasher movie, you know. But maybe I'm just in a cranky mood. Who knows? Who knows?
That could be, Eric. It's a weird month, you know?
Yeah,
Hormones are off, who knows?
yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought this was, it is a stupid idea on paper if you think about it, like, oh, a doll that kills people, why don't you just throw it away or whatever, but I think the way that they do it is actually pretty smart. You've got this, like, serial killer who's, what is his name, though? Like, the Long Island Strangler or something? No, that's not right, but he's a strangler, and then he possesses a doll out of desperation and then kind of manipulates the world around him using the doll kind of cleverly. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, he apparently is a part of some what was it, like a voodoo thing? I mean, there's voodoo dolls and stuff at one point.
Mm.
So he's part of some kind of group that knows how to get powers or how to possess things. And at the time of his demise, the Strangler's demise, who's Brad Dourif, who's Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings, and he's also in Cuckoo's Nest. I know
Yeah,
he.
he's Billy something in Cuckoo's
Yeah,
Nest.
yeah. Yeah, he's the one. He is Charles is his name, but that's why he becomes Chucky as the doll. So he's dying and he goes into the doll, and the whole place gets hit by lightning and like blows up, and then the doll apparently ends up in the alley somewhere, and the detective was there, and he goes home and like no big deal, and like there's probably a cleanup, and some homeless guy finds the doll and sells it to the mom from Seventh Heaven.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's where she's from. Stupid connection though, where it's just like of all of the dolls for that one creepy homeless guy to find, it's that one that's possessed. And then he's like, all right, why didn't he escape from the box immediately? Like right when he possessed the doll, he's like, ah, fuck, and just like crawl out of that box and run away somewhere.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. There's one thing.
Right from the start. Uh, I like that opening chase scene though. I think it's pretty cool. I love Sarandon, Chris Sarandon. I love Chris Sarandon, dude.
For a second, I was so tired last night watching this. I watched it started it at midnight, and I was like, is that Ray Romano? From like the first second, it's like if you look at him really, really, really quickly, it's like a really jacked Ray Romano. I don't
Dude,
know.
he's the man. So, I mean, you've seen Fright Night, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's the head vampire in Fright Night, right?
Yeah, dude, I love Fright Night. And actually, Tom Holland, the director of this, actually directed Fright Night also. So Chris Sarandon, he's a lead, like basically the lead in that, and then in this as well. He's also the voice of Jack Skellington.
Oh, so he's the King and Princess Bride also.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so wow, we just connected all them dots.
Yeah, I love him, man. I don't know everything he's in. Another thing I looked up about him, he's from West Virginia. He's got like the clearest speaking voice. Like I would never expect him to be like from a southern state or anything like that. He just has such
Jack, the Pumpkin King. It's like very like pure.
yeah. It's just, I guess I don't know. I always thought he had a very just like clear speaking voice, but yeah, man, I love him. And then I don't know that opening scene with him just chasing him. I mean, it's cool. It's interesting, and Brad Dourif he's so good. He's so good as the voice of Chucky.
He voices. Okay, so I was like, okay, so he plays. Okay, I want to make sure he voices him too. I didn't know that. I knew he was like the villain who becomes Jack. So it makes sense. He voices him.
Yeah.
Duh.
He's voiced him throughout the entire series. I mean, every single one except for the reboot, which is Mark Hamill.
Is Mark Hamill in the beginning as a bad guy, like running away?
Uh, I don't want to. I was gonna wait till later, but if you want to talk about it now, have you seen the reboot,
No, no,
dude? Do you know anything about it?
no, no.
Dude, all right, okay. So this is why I really love the original Child's Play because there's like an evil element to it of voodoo and him possessing the doll, and like you start to learn the lore of Chucky and all this stuff throughout that original series. And then in the reboot, it's like an Amazon Alexa basically that's put in it, and there's a virus on it. and that's it. There's no evil element to it. It's like the computer software just, like, starts going crazy and killing people. It's almost like Terminator in a
Like
child.
Skynet, like evil Skynet.
Yeah. So, like, that
Not
takes
that
away all
Skynet's already not evil, but
yeah, it's just a mistake. It's just like, "Oh, shit, that one's, like, fucked." It's almost like Small Soldiers, kind of,
okay. Small
you know?
soldiers.
But it really
We're
is.
connecting all the dots today, dude. All the dots. You got Seventh Heaven, Small Soldiers. What's next? What's next?
But I don't know, man, that really like, that's a slap in the face to the fans of the original. It's like, so there's no evil demon voodoo doll that makes this all possible? It's just a stupid, like, bug in the software? Oh, okay. Mark Hamill, though, if anybody was gonna voice it, I'm glad it's Mark Hamill, I guess.
Huge, great choice. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
He's such a good voice actor, I mean, and then I don't know, maybe, like, 5 years ago, I really went on, like, a Chucky kick, and I just watched all of them just, like, back to back to back to back. Have you seen, like, most of these?
No, no, I've never
How would
seen 2 or 3 or Bride of Chucky or I've only seen this one, and I mean, the first time I saw this, dude, I was in, like, 3rd or 4th grade. Like, I was very
Wow.
young when I saw this.
Okay, so we have a very different relationship with Child's Play films here. I've seen all of them, and I respect the series for what it is. That guy Don Mancini, who wrote the original one, he's written every single one. Like
Huh.
he's really involved. He's literally written every single one. He directed the most recent ones, and it's really funny, man. I can't think of another series where the later ones, like 6 and 7, dude, that are straight to DVD, straight to video, are like the best of the series. It's crazy. They're really good. They're, like, scary, they're believable, they actually take the original plot, they continue growing on it, and Andy's back, dude, in the original, and the real actor that played him is in these later ones, and he's an adult now, and his whole life is like a mess because of this. Dude, it's I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that poor kid Andy. I mean, start of the film, the babysitter gets thrown out the window. They think she fell out or something happened,
Yeah.
and like he's already a mess, and he thinks his doll did it. Like,
I
imagine
mean,
going to a therapist and being like, "Yeah, I was young and my babysitter died, and I always thought it was my doll." It's like, oh damn, dude, that's
let's
dark.
look at Andy's life already, like, no idea where the father is, mother is, working nonstop to put him through school. Also, that apartment in Chicago for a woman that works at, like, a jewelry store and a department store, are you kidding me? That thing is fucking huge.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a huge apartment, but anyways, so yeah, missing father, mother's, always working, trying to do as good as she can, and then all of a sudden there's the evil doll that kills the babysitter. Then he gets taken and put in that institute, which is like an evil prison for children. Like that does not look like like a remotely safe or healthy place for anybody to go, especially kids.
Yeah, I'd rather go to a dog pound than that. That looked awful.
Yeah, there's like bars and stuff. There's no
Oh, yeah.
windows.
Wait, is it like an asylum, or was that supposed to be some, like, child services? Like, I don't know. That was or, foster house. I don't know what the hell that was, but that looked they made that look horrible.
It didn't, I mean, it felt voluntary. It's like, "Maybe he should stay with us for a few days." And then, like, he's locked up and he's just like, "Help me, he's coming." And they're like, "I don't see him, shut up." And they, like, basically
Jeez
walk away.
Louise. Yeah. I think, I mean, one of I mean, the whole movie's ridiculous, but, like, the babysitter dies, right? And what
Mhm,
happens? "Hey, get out of here, detectives, like, I need to sleep." And the kid goes to school the next day. You're gonna bring your kid to school when he
mhm.
just had a traumatic experience, and he's still carrying the doll that he thinks did it. So it's like, what? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so many ridiculous stuff happens in this movie.
I agree with you. What, like, that night, I would've been like, "Hey, let's stay at a hotel. A woman just got killed." Well, we think an accident happened,
Also,
but
your window's blown out and
yeah,
But,
yeah.
dude, it's just I don't know. Also, imagine being neighbors with this lady.
Why?
Like, the apartment, all the shit that happened that week, like, from imagine living underneath this lady, like, all the stomping, all the screaming, the guns going off at the end of the movie. It's like, I'm moving. Like, I'm getting out of this apartment building.
Well, you got that
It's like,
old couple that's in the elevator, maybe it's them. They're just like,
they
"God
just
damn it."
can't
There's
hear anything.
There's dolls. No, 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 they hear everything, but they're like, "That's so annoying having those neighbors," and then there's this ugly doll in the elevator, like, "This building's really gone to shit, huh?"
Yeah.
Like, "God damn, let's get out of here."
Yeah, that's like, oh, man, that's a terrible neighbor right there. But, that kid was a pretty good actor. Well,
Yeah,
the kid
dude,
who played Andy.
the scene where he asks for help in the asylum and he starts crying, he's like, "He's gonna get me." That was very good.
Yeah, yeah.
And he, like, falls on his knees and is just like, "Oh my god, help me, please." And I'm like, "Holy shit, like, that's really good acting from a little kid."
Yeah.
the first moment where Chucky snaps sort of thing, what do you think of that? When
With
he
the
reveals it
mom?
to the mom, yeah.
Like, what did he like? He like turns around and says, "You bitch!" And like, I don't know. It's like one of those moments where it's like, "Hey, wake
Yeah,
up!" And then
the
it's
that
like,
that line, I don't know why, it, like, really stuck with me the whole time where he's like, "You stupid fucking bitch, you slut," and she's like, "Oh my god," like, sort of the, like,
it's like we
immediate
just kick off like that. Oh wow,
yeah,
okay.
I always loved that, I thought
Oh
that
my
was, like
god.
yeah, I'm like, "Talk, damn you, talk, damn you," he's like, "You fucking slut," and it's like, "Oh my god, this thing is not fucking around," and then I love it, dude perfectly drops on the floor and rolls under the thing, and, like, oh my god. I don't know, man. It is stupid because it's a stupid doll, but, like, I don't know. I think it's cool. I don't know. I actually really I like this movie.
You just gotta have a good sense of humor and just get ready to be entertained by the dumbness of it. And I mean, there's something like when he goes to the house of that guy who's he's gonna kill. Remember,
Eddie
Chucky's like
Caputo?
Eddie get Caputo. If
Yeah.
he's not gonna die by Chucky, he's gonna die by disease. There's rats all over his food, all over that house. I'm like, this place is like disgusting.
Oh,
And he goes and fires the gun and blows himself up. For for a house to blow up the way it did,
yeah.
you would smell gas from a mile away. Like that, you know what I mean? Like he's like, "Oh, why does it smell like gas in here?" None of that. He just Chucky lights the stove for like, and he shoots the gun and blows up the house like a bomb went off. It's like, okay, that's ridiculous.
Eric, it's not we're not watching a historical film. We're watching a
I'm just
movie about a
saying. I'm just
doll.
saying.
Yeah, okay.
Small,
But,
small, but small potatoes to you, but this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
dude, when that house blows up, though, that was a cool shot. Like, that is pretty sick.
No, it was cool, and that kid like, "Jackie, Jack," like, riding around outside still the house is, like, blowing up, "Jackie, where are you?"
Yeah. Well, dude, that whole scene where he goes on the L or whatever in Chicago and for alright, well, actually, I was gonna ask this. What kind of fucking school is this? Like, they're just like,
Ah,
"Andy? Where's Andy?" It's like, "Oh,
he just walked right on out, no problem,
dude,
no problem,
they didn't call the mom, no
nothing.
attendants at the school was like, "Hey, where's Andy?" Like, no one said anything, and then the only reason they find him is because the house blows up and all this crazy shit.
Also, like, watching him carry that doll around is like, no kid should have a doll that big. I
Yeah.
actually fun story when I was a kid, I don't know how old I was, but I had this doll called My Buddy.
I did too.
You had a My Buddy?
Mhm.
They were like they were like basically like, "All right, how do we do Chucky but not like no animatronics?" It was just a stuffed doll. The thing was huge, and
Yeah.
no kid should have because like as a parent, if you buy your kid a doll that big, you know who's gonna have to carry that big doll around? The parent. The kid is gonna be like, "I don't want to hold him anymore." And I'm watching this kid run around with Chucky, and it's like, man, that doll's the size of the kid, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, in the movie, it has to be big because, like, it has to be, like,
Yeah, it's not
remotely
like a Barbie doll. It's not like the size
no.
that big. It needs to be like big enough to like hold a knife, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I had it my buddy too. I was at my grandma's house, and it was never at my house, and I remember, like, kinda being scared of it, but it was blonde and kinda
Yeah,
loud.
I had a blonde My Buddy doll.
Yep.
I gotta see if I can find. I'll see if I can find it and post a picture on the Instagram or something.
The breakfast scene too, I love that. Like, that kid, it's this how much sugar he puts on that
Oh
cereal.
yeah, that's a PSA for not wanting to have kids.
Oh,
Like just
just
straight up, he makes a mess off the bat.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I was watching that, I was just like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Yeah, this is why I don't have kids. This is
Yeah,
exactly this scene."
he can't pour cereal. Then they show the milk. It's like no way. If he couldn't pour the cereal properly, there's no way he's gonna pour the milk properly. And then worst part is he's bringing it to his mom. He's making breakfast for his mom in bed. It's not even for him. And he's like bringing it along, and you see the milk just spilling all over the carpet. And I'm just like, oh, dude, that's so bad. Andy, you got to do better. You got to be better.
Yeah. The scene where he, tries to kill the cop in the car, that's where I'm kinda like, "Eh, boy. Alright, so we're showing the extent of what Chucky can really do here." Why didn't he
Yeah,
cut the
just like
brakes?
I think he was going for it. Like you see him like push on the pedal, and then I don't know if he just dropped the knife or something. But oh man, that
Alright.
scene where the thing's like stabbing through the seat. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of my nightmare right there.
Gonna offer Chucky a little polite criticism here.
Okay.
Start with the knife.
Yep.
I don't know why he went with the bike, lock or whatever around the neck. Start with the
Yeah.
knife, right in the
Start with the
back.
knife. Start with the knife. There's no need to do it the hard way. Do it the fast, quick way.
Right in the back, and
Boom.
then, and then crawl right under and just slam on the fucking, the gas, and then that we're done here.
Yeah, done. Game over.
But no, no, he's screwing around, he's screwing around. Yeah, so that was a little bit I was like, "Uh-oh," and then, obviously, is the ending part, like, I do like the fight in the beginning, but towards the end, I'm like, "Okay."
Here's the thing I don't get, like, thinking, like, the death happens, the kid is, he's at the asylum or whatever, or not even at the asylum yet, and the mom has an opportunity to throw that doll out, essentially, but she keeps it. Why the hell is she keeping that doll? If I was a parent and my kid thinks the doll killed somebody, that doll would be at the dump. It wouldn't be anywhere near my kid, and I'd say,
Mm.
"Oh, Chucky, the cops took him because they need to keep him as evidence." "Oh, okay, because he said he did it." "Yep," and then hopefully he forgets about the doll in a couple weeks.
And you know what? That's actually a good idea, for the plot too, because that means he could have immediately gone to that, like, John guy, the guy that taught him the voodoo stuff, and then he could have learned right there that that guy said, "You have to reveal yourself to the first person, or you need to, talk to the first person you revealed yourself to," so that forces him to go find Andy and keep going back to him.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, but you get my point, like, as a
Yeah,
parent, like, your kid saying the doll's talking to him, the doll's,
yeah,
"Okay, I gotta get rid of this doll." That's the first thing you do as a
sure.
parent. You don't just, like, the kid's at school and you keep the doll, that doesn't make any sense. So,
I know, but also kinda look at it from her point of view. She's a single mother, she spent a lot of money
yeah,
to
I paid
buy
a
her.
lot of money for this doll that killed people that my son is having a traumatic experience about. I paid a lot of money for this. No, you get rid of the doll.
Well, the money thing too, but then also, like, think about what that's gonna do, like, I mean, yeah, you could make up that lie or whatever,
Hey,
but I don't know.
yeah, Chucky had to go to jail. "Okay." And then he just tells his therapist that, like, 20 years later, "Yeah, I had a doll and my mom told me. Went
Yeah,
to
man.
jail,
Well,
I don't know."
I don't wanna give away too much, but there is this sick ass scene from the last one where the original Chucky's not the original Chucky, but I guess one of them from 2 or 3, and his head is locked up in Andy's apartment, and he talks to him, and he'll, like, take out, like,
Oh,
cigarettes and, like, burn
Jesus.
his face and oh, no, he takes out a blowtorch and blows his eyes, like, "Ah, fuck!" Like, so he, like,
I'm
tortures.
making jokes, and that's actually, like, plot points of the actual movies, so
Dude, you are criticizing it, but I'm telling you right now, I understand objectively, if you look at the series, you see, like, Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, you're like, "Oh, okay, this is just, like, ridiculous now." And yes, they do get crazy, but I'm telling you, the Cult of Chucky and the Curse of Chucky, those 2 really wrap it back up, and they're like, "We're going big." And Brad Dourif's daughter becomes, the lead in this one in those ones.
oh, so she becomes, like, the Strangler's daughter or something? Sorry.
No, like, his actual daughter in real life, Brad Dourif's actual daughter.
Oh, okay. Oh,
She
interesting.
becomes I can't remember who she is in the series, but, I oh, no, I think she's yes, she is. She's Charles Ray Lee's whatever, real daughter in the movie and in real life,
Okay,
and the doll
interesting.
comes back to try to possess her now,
Oh, yeah,
and
that was another plot point too, where it's like, "Hey, how do I become a human again?" It's like, "Oh, you have to switch your soul with the first person you told." It's like, "What if you
yeah,
didn't tell anybody?" It's like, "Oh, I told this little kid, so I gotta switch bodies with the kid." It's like, "Yeah, it's the only way it's gonna work." It's like, "Okay."
hey, I mean, why the hell not? That's I mean, to me, that's, like, sweet, and he's excited about it too. He's like, "Clean slate." He's like, "I can possess a six-year-old and start my whole life over again. This is awesome."
Yeah, there's that, but I don't know. It was just crazy. But also, I'm not picking apart this movie because it's
Yes,
just,
you are. Yes,
you're
you
just
are.
it's meant to be fun. It's not meant to be picked apart. But like that magic leader guy who he goes to the house that he has to kill.
Yeah.
So why does that guy have a voodoo doll of himself?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying though. It's like you have a voodoo doll to do something to something else. You don't
Yeah.
have a voodoo doll to do like why would you have a voodoo doll of yourself? There's no reason. I don't know.
I completely agree with you. They do say a very weird, vague line that kind of justifies it, but doesn't at all. They're just like, "You shouldn't tell people, like, where you hide this thing or whatever, like, that could hurt you." Like, he just says that, and you're like, "I guess that explains it." Like, he told them where he keeps a voodoo doll of himself, but
But why would you have a voodoo are you pleasuring yourself with a voodoo doll? Like, there's voodoo dolls are to inflict, like, pain. Like, how do you why do you have a voodoo doll of yourself? That doesn't add up to me.
I have no idea. I'm not
Alec,
jumping.
these are answers I need to know.
I mean, you kind of just answer yourself, like, is he trying to pleasure himself? Maybe that's it.
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to make sense of it all.
He's like, "You haven't jerked yourself off until you jerk yourself off as a voodoo doll."
I guess maybe that's what he's saying. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know,
Whatever,
man.
dude. This movie,
I like
great.
that scene. I like the scene that it kinda justifies that he has a friend who knows about the voodoo, who doesn't like what Chucky's doing with the voodoo. I like that whole thing. I like that, man. I think that's cool. But the one thing I will say that is very stupid about this whole thing is he does say, he's just like, I got shot and it hurt." And he's just like, "Yeah, the longer you stay in this body, the more human you become." And it's like, whoa, whoa, hold on a second. So when he gets all of his limbs shot off individually and he's on fire and all that, like, he's at that logic, he's the most
He's
human.
not as human yet, yeah, and maybe like, what does that mean? Like, it's you're still a plastic doll, but you start to, like, grow organs within the doll and become more human. It's like,
Yeah,
what the
I think I
fuck
think
is
that's
this
exactly
movie,
it.
dude? What is
Like,
this movie?
hey, I like that, but then I will say, yeah, him getting all of those horrifically mortal wounds and then is still alive. I'm like,
He gets his head blown off. He looks like Anakin Skywalker with his head blown off, like, at the end of episode 3, you know?
yeah,
Like, his arms cut off, he's burnt to a crisp, his legs cut off. He's
yeah.
like this body that's barely, like, twitching, and it's yeah.
Oh, so the whole ending scene, dude, alright, first of all, really quick, why the hell when, oh, yeah, so Chris Sarandon gets stabbed, and he's on the ground in the bedroom, and then they light, Chucky on fire, which miraculously doesn't light anything else like the couch or the carpet on fire, but whatever,
Yeah.
and then you just hear from the other room, they're like, "Are you guys okay in there?" Like, "Andy," or whatever, and then the camera cuts to them running into the bedroom, and Chris Sarandon's still on his stomach, so was he just lying on his stomach yelling like, "Ah," like, "Hey, are you guys okay?" Like, from his stomach, and then rolled over, like, right when they got there? I don't know, I think that's a
Yeah,
pretty
I think so. There's that, and there's also, like, when Chucky's, like when she's, like, holding the doorknob closed
yeah,
to, like, not let Chucky in, and Chucky's, like, stabbing through the door. Why are you keeping your head against the door still? You can easily keep the door closed, but
dude, I
keeping
know.
keeping your head at a distance where a knife won't stab into it. It's just, "Okay, I'm gonna keep the door closed here and then back away 2 feet with my face," and he's just gonna keep stabbing through the door. He's not gonna get anywhere 'cause he's a doll, but her head she's holding the door closed with her hands and then putting her ear against, like, the door. It's like,
I
"What?
know,
Oh my god, dude.
I know, the whole time I was watching, I was
Where
like,
can
"What?"
you go?" When you can't close the door, the answer is put your head against the door. I don't know, just broke
Yeah.
out into song. Just thinking Seventh Heaven the whole time.
Oh, I didn't know that was the mom from Seventh Heaven, I've never seen that show,
You
actually.
never seen Seventh Heaven?
No,
You're
no.
missing out. Missing
Yeah,
out.
I bet I am. But yeah, no, I agree with you, that scene was so stupid. But the cop, Chris Sarandon's partner or whatever, man, what is that guy's deal?
He's just there to bring, like I don't even know. He's just like, Now do you believe me?" It's like, I guess I believe." Like, at the end when, like, the doll, like, attacks him,
Yeah,
'cause, like, the detective's like, "Hey, it's the doll, it's the doll." And he's like, "Okay, okay, what are you smoking?" And then all of a sudden the doll attacks him. He's like, "Now do you believe me?" It's like,
yeah.
"Oh."
No, I just love his character throughout the whole thing. I'm just looking at him, I'm like, "This guy seems like an alcoholic." I
Yeah,
don't
he
know why.
does, he does, he
Yeah,
does.
like, he just came off a bender, he's like, "What's going on, chief? What do you mean there's a doll?" "Okay." Like, I'm a fucking crazy guy.
It's like, "Hey, there's" and they call the cops, and that guy shows up. That's not how cops work. That one guy shows up. He's like, "Hey, is everything okay here?"
No, I think Chris Sarandon's character called him. I think
Oh,
he's probably like, "Hey."
just him, one backup.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, his partner, he's probably like, "Hey, like, come to this house, this doll is, like, real, man." He's like, "Okay." And then he comes there, he's like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, okay, okay.
I don't know, man. It's a stupid movie, but, like, I think they do a good job of justifying dude, this could have been so much dumber, come on.
Yeah, yeah. There could have been 2 dolls. I don't know, like
No. They could've I mean, they could've I don't know, they could've really screwed up a doll movie, like, I don't know, you got The Twilight Zone, like, with the doll, and then you've got well, I guess the Slappy from Goosebumps probably came out it definitely came after this, yeah, but I don't know, there's always been, like
Slappy from Goosebumps. Goosebumps is a children's book.
I know. I'm saying it
Okay.
came after this, I'm
Well,
just saying
honestly, this movie I saw when I was a kid, and like I liked it back then because I was 7 or 8, and now
yeah.
or 9 or however old I was, and now it's I'm a little like okay, okay, I'm a little too old for doll slasher movies. I don't need dolls in my slasher movies. I don't
Alright, so
need
let me ask you
toys,
this.
Alec. I don't need toys.
Oh, you have a lot of toys.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, though, let me ask you this. So, obviously, if I say, what would you do in this situation? You say, "Just fucking smash the doll's head open and throw him
I
out."
would let all my anger out on this doll, dude. This doll
Right,
wouldn't even know what hit it.
exactly.
I
So
don't care if he's the Long Island Strangler from Coney Island, wherever the hell he's from. He's out. He's gone. That
okay.
doll's done.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Let's say you're Chucky.
Okay.
What do you do?
So the longer I'm in the body, I gotta get the kid alone. It's like, okay, wait till a good time. Like, hey, how long do I have? He never finds out, like, hey, you turn into a doll for life at the first full moon. It's like, oh, the first full moon's at the end of the month. You got to find out that time first. Like, how long do I have as a doll until time's up? Never give you that, right? So you gotta
Mm.
find that out first with Chucky. Then you kill the voodoo guy. Then you find the opportunity with the kid. You sneak in the house when the kid's sleeping. You kill the mom. You do that, and then you switch souls. That's it. Done.
You kill the mom?
Yeah, you gotta kill the mom
Why?
because she's the only one in the apartment with the kid.
But you just possess the kid, and then your life is the kid, and
The
then you
mom could stop you as you're doing all the chants and spells. You gotta take her out first.
but then, let's say you possess Andy, and then, the mom's dead, and then they're gonna be like, the six-year-old has to go into child protection. Oh, wait, maybe that is what happens, dude. The second one, he gets adopted by a foster family. I don't remember how he gets there.
Yeah.
Andy does in the second one, gets adopted by, like, a remember Matilda, like, the evil parents from that?
Trench Bulls
He
or
kind of gets
oh,
adopted by,
Danny
like
DeVito and the other mom.
but I mean, they're not that, but he gets adopted by a family that's like that. They're these mean people, and then somehow Chucky's back. He's like, "There's a doll again," and, like,
Ooh, that'd be a good movie. Matilda and versus Chucky. Oof. Ooh, that'd be good, dude. That'd be good. I'd watch that.
that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I think this was a fun movie in the way that they kind of were trying to like cash in on the end of the '80s with all these like continuing sequel horror slasher movies, and I think Chucky slid in right at the end, had a good run, then it got kind of stupid, and then came back, dude. And I'm telling you, and anyone that's listening to this that hasn't seen it and has completely dismissed the Chucky franchise because of how stupid they get, I'm telling you right now, watch The Cult and The Curse of Chucky. They're much better. They really did a good job.
You know what? I'm gonna clear my schedule and watch them. We'll put them on the next wheel. We'll put one more on the next wheel. Which one do you
Yeah.
think on the next wheel would be worthy? The
I
new one? The new one we
No.
can
No,
no? Okay.
the reboot, I didn't even see the reboot, but I read a lot about it, and I watched, like, the kill count or whatever, the Dead Meat pot like, a lot of people that have talked about it, and I'm just like, "I don't have an interest in this, man."
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just like, the idea of it not being a demon-possessed doll, I'm just like, "Meh, I don't know."
Yeah, I
What
mean, which one though? Like 2? Do you think Child's Play 2 would make or like Bride of Chucky? I mean, how many before Bride of Chucky are there? The 3 or the
So in total, not including the reboot, there's 7 of
oh
the
my
original
god.
franchise, and they're all written by the same guy, so that's I don't know, man. You, like, never see that. You never see somebody it's not like John Carpenter's like, "I'll write all the next Halloweens," or you don't see Wes Craven doing all the Nightmare on Elm Streets, but this dude wrote
Jeez
and
Louise.
then directed 3 of them too, so I don't know.
How many like is there Chucky versus things?
No. No.
Okay, that's probably next. Chucky
No.
versus the Lake Placid crocodile. Like,
Actually, Eric, you know what's next?
oh no,
They're
I
doing
spoke
a
too soon.
they're doing a television show on Sci-Fi called Chucky, comes out next year, and
Okay, I'm excited.
yeah, and it's, basically Mancini is, writing and directing, so
What
Chucky
would,
lives on.
what would be your idea for a sequel?
I mean, they've kinda done everything, man. I mean, if I think it would be kinda cool if he did possess, I don't know, maybe Andy and then I really don't know, man. I don't know.
What about like let's say like there's a character like Andy, he goes on eBay and buys like a vintage doll and or someone has a vintage doll he wants to give his son that he had and like he finds like an old picture of him with a doll. He's like, "Man, that was the best memories having that doll." He's like, "I'm gonna go buy," and he buys it from like Voodoo Guy 69 on eBay and then and then gets it like shipped to his house and that like that doll's like it's like an 80s doll. It's the old doll. It's not like anything new
I
looking, you
liked
know?
I liked everything you said until the Voodoo
I
69
was
scream.
joking about that, but like imagine like he finds like his old childhood doll. I remember we were in LA and we saw one of those old dolls for how much was it? We asked the person in there as a joke.
I think it was like $400
Jeez Louise.
or something like that. It was like it was an original Chucky thing
That'd
from
be great. Like come home with that. Like first I have to buy a seat for that thing because it's huge or get it checked. And then just the thought of like I would have to wrap that up. I wouldn't be like caught dead in an airport checking a Chucky doll like life size.
I think it'd be
Oh,
funnier just imagining your wife
oh
looking at the
god.
credit card bill and being like, "What is from Voodoo,
It's really
like,
cool.
LA,
It's
Hollywood?"
really cool. It's gonna be worth a lot someday. I promise. Like it's gonna be worth a real lot.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's worth a real lot right now because you just paid $400. It's like it's gonna be worth more. I promise. I
Yeah, I promise
promise.
you. Listen, there's a Chucky series coming out in 2021. Reese is alive and well. Give it 20 years, this will be worth $500,
Like,
easy.
this is why I don't want you hanging out with Alec. Stop hanging out with him.
I told him
Yeah,
not to
yeah.
buy it.
That's what that's what she would say. That's what she would say. And it's valid. And it's valid. If I was to buy it, if I was to.
Yeah, yeah, well, I don't know, man. I guess about Chucky, that's about real all I can think
I'm
about it.
surprised we lasted this long, honestly. I mean, I ran out of notes a while ago.
Yeah, man, I mean, you seem like you didn't enjoy it. I actually really enjoyed this. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would.
So I kept checking my watch, honestly. I couldn't wait for this
Whoa.
one to be over. Yeah,
Oh.
that was this one. That was this one. So
Oh, hey, it's not for everybody, I totally get
I've
it.
seen it. That's why too. It's like I had to rewatch it to refresh my memory, and it's like, oh, like it's like something you got to go to the dentist. You got to watch the, that's how it felt to me.
Oh my god, alright, well, I had a very different experience, but anyways, what do you say we, spin that wheel of horror?
On it, pull it up,
What our next movie is gonna be?
spinning. Here we go. Here we go. And we got the witch. The
Ah,
witch.
the Vitch.
The Viva Vitch. Like it. Very excited. I've never seen that one, so I'm very excited to watch it.
Ooh, yes, I have seen that quite a few times, very good. Alright, cool, man. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow.